All right, this is take two on this. The last thing that you need is me rattling away about everything that's going on. I feel like it's a rabbit hole and I don't want to go too far down it. Condensing words. It's been a while since you've heard from me. I think it's been Thursday. I did not, as predicted, get a lot of work done on Friday. My headspace was not good. I went to the protests on Saturday, which is why I now live in here. I'm distancing from family as well, as much as possible for the next couple of weeks. It was an informed trade-off. And yeah, that's definitely an adjustment on top of everything else. You know, I guess that's what's happening at the moment. We're finding progressively broader and broader shoulders to deal with things that a lot of other folks have been dealing with for a long time. Yeah, it feels like we're being brought into a broader horizon, and I know I can only speak for myself, but certainly I feel like I'm seeing with a little more clarity and shifting from an intellectual to an emotional understanding. I'm going to put a link in the video and close off this section of the conversation. Otherwise, what's going to happen is going to happen with the last take, and I'm just going to go on for minutes, just staring glumly into the camera, and that's no use to you, and it's no use to, well, fundamentally, it's no use to you. It doesn't really help me either. But Cody Johnston, who is, or was rather, a member of the Cracked team, a really, really good writer, a really good comedian, always enjoyed his stuff, is part of a channel now on YouTube where they're doing long narrative journalism breakdowns of just what's going on in the US. And there was one video. I'm not going to link to that video specifically. Well, maybe I will. Fuck it, yeah, I will. But there is a 2-minute supercut that is just grueling because they have picture over picture over picture over picture over picture of what people are recording on the ground in terms of just blatant police brutality. The protests over the weekend happily were fairly peaceful, but New South Wales had its own vindictive incident happen post-protest where a bunch of people were kettled in Central Station and then pepper sprayed, assaulted, you could say, by police as well. Certainly pushed around unnecessarily. So yeah, it's a thing. So I recommend checking out the links. There's good stuff there to put in front of people. Now let's get on to the project, because that is, good God, it's 6 minutes. No, that's some minutes in. I'm looking at a time counter that includes the first take on this as well. So I finished the Discord proof of concept. Let's distract ourselves with this stuff because it's fun and got to pay the bills. I finished the Discord proof of concept, and that felt really good to have that happen. Like, I'm completely okay with developing an application that uses private Discord channels as a lo-fi way of doing messaging. I'm cool with that. That works. I am going to continue to work on the proof of concept around interface friction, but the clock ran out on that last week, especially with headspace tanking pretty much on either side of the protest. So that's something I want to get back to, because I think there's really something there as well. I've got an idea for another thing I want to put together that came out of last week's events as well, as a way of trying to help in some way, I guess. What am I doing this week? This week is dynamic audio. I'm starting on dynamic audio. Yesterday I'm still adjusting to self-isolation within self-isolation. So I did not work on project stuff yesterday, especially because it was a public holiday. But now it's a regular work day, so there's no one else in the house. That helps me think a little clearer. Just while I'm adjusting to this new reality inside this new reality, which I know is only 2 weeks. So griping about that feels like it feels like I'm playing the tiniest harp in the world compared to stuff that's happening out there. But anyway, the point that I was trying to make was that I didn't work on that yesterday. I just mucked around with some Python coding for a graphing project. So today, what I'm going to be doing is Flask prototype, server file over a URL, extending that to then allow me to specify multiple query parameters and get pydub to glue together an MP3 file and serve that as well. Why? Because the first thing I want to do with dynamic audio is I want to see if I can get a server-based solution to minimize the amount of pre-baking that I need to do with files. I know it sounds like I'm yelling this now, but that's me. That's me keeping me on track. I'm finding it super hard to stay focused at the moment. It's very easy to succumb to distraction, and I do not want to do that because the stuff that I'm doing is fantastic. It's, you know, it really is. I know I say this a lot. It's kind of a cliche my partner's called me out for, but it's a gift. So yeah, I'm getting back to that. Oh yeah, and my computer's back. You can probably see by the fact that I've got that ring light giving me that gorgeous washed out look. So yeah. So that's what I'll be doing today. I'm now trying to keep things as simple in terms of what is the next step in front of me and then the next step after that, just to combat that distraction. So that's me for today. I hope that you are well and I hope that you are safe. I hope that, and I hope that you're able to find some peace and some restoration over the weekend. It's lovely to be talking to you again, and I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. I'll see you then.